There's a moment many parents know well when their young adult is struggling. They may be overwhelmed, depressed, anxious, in relapse, facing legal problems, feeling stuck, or pushing back. And something happens inside you. You feel pulled to step in, to say something helpful, to fix what's not working, to carry more than you know you should, because not caring, it can feel worse. That pull doesn't come from control, it comes from care. And today, I want to talk about what happens in that moment when care moves faster than orientation can keep up. Overfunctioning isn't about bad boundaries, it's not about weakness, and it's not about wanting power. Overfunctioning is what happens when care bypasses orientation. It's when a parent steps in before they have fully located themselves. When responsibility shifts without being noticed. When helping replaces presence. Sometimes overfunctioning can look like control, but more often it's care responding to fear. Fear of what might happen if you don't step in. Fear of things getting worse. Fear that pausing means you're not doing enough. It's care saying, if I don't do something, something bad might happen. And that distinction matters. Because when we name overfunctioning only as control, we miss the care and fear underneath it. And when we name it only as care, we miss how easily fear can begin to drive the moment. Orientation is what keeps care present without letting fear or control take over. Here's the part that we don't talk about enough. Overfunctioning gives parents something orientation does not. It gives certainty. Action feels safer than stillness. Doing something feels more responsible than waiting. Taking over feels more protective than staying present. Orientation, on the other hand, asks parents to sit inside uncertainty, to stay with discomfort, to tolerate not knowing what will happen next, to resist the urge to manage outcomes. For many parents, especially when their young adult is struggling, that uncertainty feels unbearable. So care speeds up, responsibility expands, and overfunctioning steps in. Not because parents are afraid or want control, but because uncertainty feels dangerous. Orientation doesn't stop you from caring. It changes how care shows up. When orientation comes first, parents pause just long enough to ask, where am I right now? Not, what should I do? Not, how do I fix this? But, am I grounded enough to respond without overtaking? Orientation restores choice. It helps you notice when responsibility is shifting quietly, when you're about to carry something that isn't yours, when helping is becoming self-erasure. This isn't about doing less, it's about staying with yourself while you stay connected to your young adult. One of the hardest things for parents to untangle, especially when their young adult is struggling, is this. Presence doesn't require responsibility. You can stay connected without solving. You can care deeply without intervening. You can support without absorbing. Overfunctioning blurs those lines. Orientation clarifies them. And when parents stop carrying what isn't theirs, something important happens. The relationship becomes steadier, not because problems disappear, but because the parent remains intact. When a parent orients instead of overfunctions, they model something powerful. They model emotional self-leadership, boundaries without withdrawal, care without control. They show their young adult, I trust you to hold what's yours. I'm here, but I won't disappear into fixing. That kind of steadiness builds trust over time, even when the situation itself remains hard. Last week, we talked about orientation as something you return to after a hard moment. This week is different. This week is about recognizing what orientation prevents. It prevents parents from losing themselves in helping. It interrupts overfunctioning before it takes over. It keeps care from turning into collapse. And if you notice yourself overfunctioning sometimes, there's room for grace. It means you care. Orientation simply gives that care somewhere steadier to land. And that's why orientation isn't something you reach for after things fall apart. It's a skill that you use before momentum takes over.